recording. We're recording. Yeah.
Oh, speculative I've got that'll freeze your poor twat. Be the same.
Name on the blind day and her heart stood still. They do run, 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 they do run, run. Sitting at the rooster and she felt quite ill. They do run, 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 they do run, run. Yeah, her heart stood still. Yeah, she was nervous and ill. Oh, but it was worth the wait. They do run, 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 they do run, run. Barbara said she liked her, that was all it took. That was to run, run. Mom, that moment, that was really good. They do run, 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 they do run, run. Mama said it's okay. And they were on their way. August brought the engagement day. They do run, 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 they do run, run. Moved in a new house, they are a pair. Do run, 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 they do run, run. Rush the ghost and the little brute bear. Do run, 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 they do run, run. Now the wedding's here. Now he'll have to call her dear. Let's raise our glasses and cheer. Because nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina.
Y'all video this next piece.
Yes. Yes.
Hang on. Pow.
Chancy and Matt are doctors. Fine.
Pow.
They'll check out your pelvis or spine. If your vagina does itch or your back's in a twitch, it's one-stop service divine.
There we go. Awesome, pal.
I'll stand here.
Are you done? Are you done?
Talk. You want to talk? There has been enough frivolity, and I want to get serious. Peggy and I, along with a lot of folks from North Carolina, have come to Louisiana to celebrate this wedding. We will tomorrow rejoice in the nuptials. There are some people here who probably don't know Matt well. I do. I want to tell you how he's helped me and how he has changed my life. As you know, Matt is a very prominent doctor of chiropractic in Charlotte. He has a wide following, and I'm proud to say he is my doctor. Now, I did not see him right away. I was not anxious to do that. But I want to tell you about how I came to do that. I am 87 years old. And I've had backache since kindergarten. I've had all sorts of treatments and doctors. I've applied lotions and creams to my back. I've had back braces. I've put all sorts of things on my back. Nothing has helped. I've done exercises. Exercise is supposed to help your back. I've done Tai Chi. I did that for a year, and I'm better than an Oriental warrior. I did yoga. At the time, hot yoga was popular. You do hot yoga, you get your clothes off, and you get in a dark room. and you do that. It didn't help. I did Pilates. Pilates made my stomach very flat. I had a good core, but my back hurt. There was a fella, he had a twitch in his eye. He didn't look quite normal. He wanted me to take high colonic irrigation. He wanted to do therapeutic enemas. I didn't do that. They said later he was in jail. I don't know what happened. It was something unnatural he was doing. I have done transcendental meditation. I go in the back room of my house and I sit in a dark room in a comfortable chair and I'd hum. Hum for an hour. Didn't help. I've done drugs. Some of them illegal drugs. Didn't help. Did alcohol, tranquilizers. Didn't help. Alcohol helped a little. But it wore off. Anyway, Peggy was always very sympathetic to my pain. She's always trying to help me. And about a year ago, she said, I want you to see Matt Lucas. He's in practice now, and he does acupuncture. And acupuncture is supposed to help people with back pain. She said, just like last week on Oprah, she said that acupuncture helps people with back pain. And just today, she said, Dr. Oz said the same thing. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm tired of all these doctors and treatments. I'm not doing it. I'll just suffer. And then I saw Jack Lucas. And Jack said, I want you to see my son, Matt. He has learned the ancient practice of Chinese acupuncture. You need to see Matt. And they kept after me, see Matt, see Matt, see Matt. And I said, to shut him up, I'll see him. I went to his office. And I sat in his waiting room, a lot of people there, and you could tell by looking at their faces, they had back pain. And one by one, they were called in for the treatment. And finally, my time came. I walked in there, Matt greeted me, changed a few words, ran his hand down my spine. I don't know if he did a chant or not. I don't remember that. And before I knew it, he was pressing these needles into my body, all over my body. And it was taking electric. It was a probe. It looked like a big knife, and he had an electric cord attached to it. And he put them on those needles, and there was a spark. And I jumped. And he said to me, "Come back." And I came back, and he did the needles again, and the electric cord. And I jumped again. And he said, "Come back." And I came back, and he did it again. But he said, this time, I want you to take magnesium oil, and I want you to put it on your body every day for 20 minutes. And I want you to drink 80 ounces of water a day. 80 ounces. I went home. I ordered magnesium oil. Amazon, if you buy 4, you don't have to pay for the shipping. You don't have to pay for the shipping. And the water, did the water. Now, if you ask an 87-year-old man with a big prostate to drink 80 ounces of water a day, well, I did it. I did exactly as he said. I put on my Depends and I ran around the house drinking water all day. And I want you to know I did everything he told me. I went back and did everything he told me. And I'm better, and I'm very, very thankful for it. I want you to know this. He's going to be on Oprah one day, and he's going to tell this country all the good things he's done for people's backs. And I've sent a lot of patients to him. They've all been happy. Not about the water, but they've been happy. And that's all I have to say. No, I got something else to say. This is very serious. I came down to Louisiana because I knew that it was going to be a wedding. I thought it was going to be a Catholic wedding, and I knew that at the wedding, if it's a Catholic wedding in Louisiana, it had to be done in Latin, or at least part of it had to be done in Latin. And I thought, well, you know, I can interpret what the priest is saying to my wife and those around me. I took 4 years of Latin in college, and I was very good at it. At one point, I think I could go back and stand with Julius Caesar in his chariot and talk about the Gauls and wars. But it's not going to happen because Chancy's mother says there's not going to be any Latin done. No Latin. So I want to say this to Chancy and Matt. Matt et Chancia alia iacta est mirabile dictu omnius Grudges Zicat. I've said that, Chancy, the die is cast. It's wonderful to hear that love conquers all. Thank you.
Oh, give him the microphone.
Well, we had planned a lot of other speeches, but I'm sure that no one possibly would want to follow that. Holy smokes. That was awesome. So everybody had dessert, coffee and whatnot. So I just want to open the floor up for if anyone has a nerve, maybe. From their chairs, I'll bring the mic over, and if you've got anything that you might want to say. And just for those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Charles Galata, father of the bride.
Look, no one can follow that act, but somebody's got to break the ice. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I want to welcome everybody from North Carolina here. I want to welcome all my friends from Louisiana here. We're going to have a good Louisiana Cajun wedding here tomorrow. How many hours? 22 miles. But you know, I've been a lucky man. Well, let me say this, not a lucky man, a blessed man. I have a beautiful, understanding wife. I have 3 beautiful kids.
Just one, really.
Just one? No. I have 3 beautiful kids, 3 beautiful daughters. I have 2 great son-in-laws and fixing to get a 3rd one. You know, what else could I ask for? Get her off the pig?
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming, I know. No, I just wanted to say that the little girl that stayed with, I'll never leave you, Mama, and slept next to us for 13 years. We'd put her to bed, wait till she'd sleep, we'd pull the mattress out from underneath the bed, put her to sleep. I'll never leave you, Mama. So, yeah. And then there's Matt. Poor Matt, the first time he met the Galata family, I believe we were all dressed up for, like pilgrims, I believe it was, for Thanksgiving. Poor Matt tried to talk to me for days and days. We'd go outside, he'd follow me outside. I knew what he wanted, but you know, poor Matt. Every time he'd get ready to say something, somebody would come up and stop us. Finally, I knew what he wanted. I just said, Matt, you know, you have my blessing. Somebody take her. Please take her. No. This is going to be a great time for Charlotte and I. Free at last, you know. But we're going to have fun tomorrow. I want to welcome Matt into the family. I want to welcome the Lucases into the family. You know, we're sometimes dysfunctional, but, you know, we do have a.
We make it work.
We make it work. Yeah. So I'd like at this time for everybody to raise your glasses and a toast to the future Mr. and Mrs. Matt Lucas.
Charles, you did such a good job.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Charles. Now that they're back into the room, we need a shout out to the Spines, Frank, Debbie Harrison, Megan John Shug, and most importantly, the very saged 87-year-old Dr. John Butler Shug. Thank you, John. So nicely done. And absolutely no surprise, but he exceeded our expectations tonight, and that was awesome.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Possibly Mr. Busby. Mr. Miles Busby from Charlotte.
I'm Miles Busby from Charlotte. I'm Jack and Barb's old maintenance guy. I got a jacket on tonight, but Matt's probably the last guy in this entire room that would think that I'd be up here saying something, because he's going like, what's this guy going to say? So maintenance guys can be kind of mean. I thought I'd step up here before all the young kids start really railing on him. But back when Matt was a teenager, I was doing some maintenance work down at the lake house, replacing some light bulbs and stuff that Jack wasn't capable of doing. And way high up on this ladder. And Matt was a teenager, and this was a long time ago, so I'm going to give Jack a little leeway. We were probably, a little dirtier old men than we should have been, but Jack invited me down to sit on the beach. So he and I and a few of his other buddies were down there just, drinking a couple of beers, and this jet ski comes rolling up on the lake, and all the old men, well, Jack specifically, and this girl comes rolling up on this jet ski, and I don't want to go into any details, but she had a red, white, and blue stars and striped bathing suit on. Two-piece, obviously. And she comes rolling up, rolls right up onto the beach, and 4 or 5 of these old men are sitting there. I was included. And she goes, "Who's that cute boy that lives here?" She had no clue what she was chasing. She wanted to know who this Matt Lucas guy was. She saw him way back on this boat come in. Her name was Debbie. So Debbie wanted to know who this cute girl was, and Matt didn't want to have anything to do with this girl. Nothing. He didn't want to look at her. He didn't want to talk to her. And all the old men are down there on the beach going, Matt, what the hell's, what's wrong with you, man? Let's get going. So Matt wouldn't come down and talk to her. He wouldn't talk to her, didn't have any, that girl's not for me. So the old man, Jack goes, "You want a beer?" So the girl's like, I mean, I know this is supposed to be about Matt, but I got to throw in the Jack a little bit. But anyway, so Jack gives her a beer, and she comes sits in the little lounge chair beside there, and Matt's up there at the house. Don't want to have anything to do with this girl. So the moral of the story is that Matt knew way back when what he wanted, and that wasn't the girl that was for him. And he's got exactly what he wants and exactly what he should have. And his old man is still, suffering through the rest of it. So I'd like to congratulate you guys on a very wonderful wedding. You young boys can step up now. Here, Mr. Dr. Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Miles Busby. Ms. Christie.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
I'm at work here.
I'm Christy Pierce. I have the privilege of being Chancy's eldest sister and the most favorite daughter. Favorite Galata daughter.
like my dad, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, but also want to welcome Matt into the family. Matt has been a great addition, and we love Chancy very much. And so I was probably the only one not looking forward to this weekend because I knew that that meant that she was forever in North Carolina. But that's okay, because that means we get to visit very, very, very often. And just want to welcome the Lucases to the family, and thank you all for joining us on this very, very great event. So thank you very much.
Oh, sister.
All right. I want to say the slideshow that Barb put together was really nice, and we saw some really nice photos of Matt and all of our friends in middle school, and we looked very handsome and like good young strapping boys. We were awful kids in middle school, and I want to share a story along those lines. I don't think I'll keep up with the spying crew, but I'm going to try. So when we were, I was 14, Matt was 15, our parents decided to cruise from Tampa to Cozumel, exotic island off the coast of Mexico. And our parents, we arrived in Cozumel, we sailed for a day, and when we got to Cozumel, our parents made the wise decision to take our quasi-18-year-old sisters to Carlos and Charlie's, which is a beautiful establishment, a Mexican bar. It's very high class. And said, let's leave our 14 and 15-year-old sons on the boat. It's a boat. Where can they go? They'll be fine. That was a terrible, terrible decision. Matt and I had been supplied tequila for a day from some older friends, gentlemen we had met on the boat, and decided we need more of this tequila. So luckily for us, right off of the cruise ship, there was a very long wharf terminal and a duty-free shop. It was a couple hundred yards long. About 12 minutes after they get off the boat, we walk down. We go through all the T-shirts and the conch shells and the sandals, and we find the Jose. We get a couple bottles of it. We walk up to a guy. I think his name was Juan Carlos or something like that. We're going to call him Juan Carlos for now. He looks at us and says, hey, you guys, this is a terrible accent. You guys 18? Oh, yeah, hey, of course we're 18. We're buying tequila. This is us. We give high fives. He sells us the tequila. We take the tequila. We've still got about 100 yards left in this really long duty-free shop heading back to the boat. And I turn to Matt and I say, hey, Matt, they're not going to let us back on the boat with this tequila. I said, should we put this in our pants? He goes, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's put it in our pants. So we kind of, in the middle of the shop, take our pants down a little bit, put the bottle in, take our belts up, look at each other, kind of cover it up. You looking good? I'm looking good. Yep. All right. We keep on walking. All right. Hey, 14 and 15, we got some tequila. We're heading out. Once we get back through all the T-shirts and everything, we see about 20 to 25 federales at the exit. It's like, man, security's pretty tight here. This duty-free shop. No problem. We're still having a good night. We keep walking. There's this guy that runs up. He's like, hey, man, put it back, put it back. Like, hey, we're good, we're good. Put it back, we're good. We keep walking. About 5 guys walk out, put their hands on our shoulders, point to us, say, hey, pantalones. We open up, we both buy like a half gallon of tequila in our pants. All right, hey, it's cool. We paid for this. They say, we're using our 8th grade Spanish. They say, ¿Dónde está el recibo? Which is the receipt. Oh, we didn't get the receipt. Okay. No problem. We're good. Juan Carlos, he will save us. We start telling him about Juan Carlos, go find him. They go off. They actually go find Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos walks on back, and we're like, oh, thank goodness you're here. Hey, remember we were giving high fives. We bought it. We're the party guys. We're like the cool Americans. We're just drinking some tequila. He looks at us. and he looks over at the federales, looks back at us, and goes, "Gay?" So Juan Carlos hung us out to dry. That's like "huh" in Spanish. Anyways, the rest of the story, I think, involves a 14-year-old paying off a Mexican federale. Not going to go too far in there. But anyways, we were terrible children. I think the moral of the story is if you buy liquor, don't put it in your pants in the store. And 2, don't trust your children. They're terrible. Terrible people. I'm very excited for you guys. Matt's got all of his trouble out of his system, so very happy and excited to be part of this. So, cheers.
Next, Cole.
Oh, hey y'all, I'm Laura or Lou. I'm Chancy's sister with an A, not the ER. I'm like closest to a sister you can get without actually being that, I guess. But basically, me and Chancy, you know, growing up, I was always that like annoying little cousin who just wanted to be and wanted to do everything with her, and like she would be playing upstairs and I just wanted to run after her, and she would lock me out, and I mean I wanted to have the same number as her in sports, but let's face it, Chancy is athletic, agile, swift, nimble, svelte. I mean, I know she doesn't want me to stop because she wants me to just keep going, but you know, for the sake of everyone, I'm gonna have to hold to that, sorry. But anyway, just from the beginning, she's always been someone that I've always looked up to. And I mean, look at her now. She is doing great. She's got a great man. She's great man. She's a doctor. She's almost done. She's got a house. She's about to be Miss Lucas. Woo! Just so many great things going for her. And I can't wait to see how it all goes. I can't wait. But but in all seriousness, this was tough because, as Christy said, we grew up across the street from each other and always having her there, and now 800 miles away. But I can honestly say this has been, like, I'm not more confident in where she is and the people she is around. I mean, I know not most, but at least half of the people from North Carolina here I've seen before. I've been to visit often, and the Lucas family, all of their family friends, I can honestly say there's no one else that I would trust more to have my sister with you guys. Like, I know she's gonna be taken care of, and we love her. Like, and we have a great family here, and when I was stalking Matt on Facebook, you know, whenever I heard about him, I was like, man, this is a family man. Like, you know, always see pictures with his sisters and his nephew. Now he has a niece too. So it's just like I knew that this was a good guy for her. And upon meeting him, seeing his dance moves and like rapping with him, like I just knew this is a great guy for her. And I am so excited for both of them. So cheers to the future in a day, Mr. and Mrs. Lucas. Woo! And me and Hannah, her good old friend from med school, put a little something together that we are going to do. It involves music, but it seems complicated, so we're just going to a cappella it like they did. All right, so we're just trying to set the stage here. We got some cowboy hats. We wanted to go with red wigs, but we just didn't get that far.
We didn't want to pay the money.
They were like $20, so we didn't go for all that. So this is gonna be to the beat of "Fancy" by Reba McEntire. Hopefully, I don't know if it's a good song. Y'all should Google it later if y'all don't know it. If not, just work with us. We've changed the words a little bit.
It's been retitled Chancy.
Chancy.
All right. All right, girl, take it away.
Here we go. I remember it all very well. Looking back, it was the winter she turned 29. She lived in a 4-bed, 3-bath nice house in the center of North Carolina. She was broke and tired and whined all day about getting ready for her big fest. So Charles spent every last penny he had to buy that girl a wedding dress.
Charlotte washed and combed and curled that hair and painted on her eyelashes. Then she stepped into that wedding gown with a split keen up to her hip. It was white satin lace and it fit her good. Standing back from the looking glass there stood a woman where a half-grown kid once stood. She said, "Here's your one chance, Matt, you better get out of town." Here's your one chance, Matt, you better get out of town.
Charlotte ordered the flowers, set the tables, and got the catering all lined up. Chancy rolled her eyes as Charlotte kicked off her shoes and poured a little more wine in her cup. She looked at the pile of bills, then looked at her and took a ragged breath. She said, "Your pa's at the camp, and I bet Max on the slots, and I ain't got no money left."
Charlotte handed her a heart-shaped locket that said, "To thine own self be true," then shivered as she watched a rat run across from the sugarcane harvest ewe. It sounded like somebody else that was asking, "Mama, what do I do?" She said, "Just be nice to the gentleman, Aunt Chancy, and he'll be nice to you." She said, "Here's your one chance, Chancy, don't let me down. Do-do-do-do-do. Here's your one chance, Chancy, don't let me down. Lord, forgive her for what she do.
But if she wants out, well, it's up to her.
Now don't let 'em down. Now your mama's gonna move you uptown."
Well, that was the last time she saw her parents. The night of her wedding day, the Lucas family came and took our Chancy. They took our girl away.
But the wheels of fate had started to turn, and for her there was no way out, and it wasn't very long till she knew exactly what her mama been talking about.
She knew what she had to do, and she made herself the solemn vow that she's gonna be a wife someday, though she didn't know when or how. But she couldn't see spending the rest of her life with her head hung down in shame. You know, she might have just, she might have been born just Plaquemine trash, but Chancy was her name.
She said, "Here's your one chance, Chancy, don't let me down. Here's your one chance, Chancy, don't let me down." It wasn't long after that benevolent man took Chancy off the street. 1 week later, she was pouring his beer in his Four Seasons Anguilla suite.
She finished school by the skin of her teeth, delivers babies once in a while, and then she got her a Carolina man and is living it up in style. And she ain't done bad.
Now, in this world, there's a lot of self-righteous hypocrites that call her bad. They criticize Charles for turning her out, no matter how little he had.
But though she won't have nothing to worry about for nigh on many years, well, she can still hear the desperation in a poor mama's voice ringing in her ears.
Here's your last chance, Chancy, don't let me down. Here's your last chance, Chancy, don't let me down. Lord, forgive her for what she do. But if she wants out, well, it's up to her. And don't let 'em down. Now your mama's gonna move you uptown. Well, I guess she did. Again? Okay. All right. Now enough about Matt. All right. I'm Hannah. I've been knowing Chancy for quite a long time. I went to med school with Chancy, and that's where we met, so I have a little something prepared. Okay, now Chancy, I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, this is too much. First a song, now a speech. She shouldn't have. She came all the way from Shreveport with newborn twins just to be in my wedding. What a wonderful person. But Chancy, I don't want this to be about me. I want this to be about you. So Matt, I have prepared you lessons that have taken me almost 9 years to learn. I have titled this talk A Survival Guide, How to Survive Life with Chancy. Lesson 1. How me and Chancy met is not something you would call conventional. During med school, an unfortunate event took place where I needed to replace her dog. Now, I felt terrible and I wanted to fix what had happened. Now, most people would stop being friends after something like this, but that's when me and Chancy started to be friends. I offered to pay for her dog or buy her a new one. Now, thank God she refused, because it was the end of the semester in med school and I didn't have $800 to buy her a new teacup Yorkie. But thankfully, Charles and Charlotte did. So lesson number 1, Matt, Chancy is very forgiving. Lesson number 2. Now fast forward to the end of medical school. About 20 of us head to Kenya, Africa for a medical missionary trip. Now I don't want to stand here and tell you how Chancy relieved pain and suffering to the masses for an entire month, sweating and toiling, seeing hundreds of patients, because I don't want to lie to you. That's not where this lesson comes from. It comes from a bed situation. Now me and Chancy were bunked together in a bunk bed. Now, if you've met Chancy, you would never think this princess would sleep in a bunk bed, but you are wrong. Now, who would have to sleep on the top, near the roof, where the rats run? And the only thing that separates you and these said rats is a thin mosquito net. Well, yours truly, Chancy. She lost the coin toss. She got the top bunk. Now, do you think she whined and complained about it for the next month? Oh, you better believe it. Every day. She still talks about it. So the lesson here, Chancy will let you know how she feels, when she feels it, and there will be no having to guess. Lesson 3. This is my last one. Me and Chancy have been on numerous trips together. Skiing, Africa, Charleston. What can I say? I'm the ball of fun and excitement, right, Kyla? Well, one particular time that I came to see Chancy in North Carolina, we, along with Laura, her cousin, decided to go to Charleston. None of us had ever been, and we were dying to go. So I was left in charge of the room situation. Now, anyone who knows me knows 2 things about me. I love to save money, and I love to travel. 2 things that don't exactly mix well. So how do you do both, you ask? Well, you stay in hostels. Now, Chancy's roughing it days of staying in huts with rats were behind her, or so she thought. She gave me explicit instructions not to book a hostel, but no one tells me what to do. I thought it would be fun, regardless of her reservations, so I booked the hostel and told her I got a nice 4-star hotel in the heart of Charleston. And then we set out for the big city. Upon arriving at the hostel, Chancy was not amused. After refusing to stay there, pouting for several hours, and proceeding to whine about it for the entire weekend, after we had switched rooms in a nice hotel, we were on our merry way. So what's the moral behind this story? Chancy is not a fan of surprises. All right, well, I have some more lessons, but that was the top 3. So I'm so happy for y'all, and I'm really going to miss my friend from Louisiana. But Chancy, I want to say, I always said one day you're going to make some man real miserable. And I'm glad it's going to be you, Matt.
Okay, anybody that knows me knows I have a mouth of the South. Of the South. But before I get started with my mouth. Okay, gotcha. I'm the mother of the bride. Not the groom, the bride. And Barb, you got to get up here next. But anyway, before I start, I just want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank everyone that I met last 2 weekends ago. I felt so at home. I didn't know what to expect. We're from the South. I mean, we're kind of like have P-Rose down the road. We don't get out very much. But anyway, I just want to say one thing about my daughter. Well, a couple of things. When she went to Kenya with you, did you tell them that she was offered a chieftain's wife position? No, you were not. Oh, that's not.
That is not what I heard.
Thank you, Colin. No, you were not.
How many-
They offered me 20 cows.
Okay, that's what it said. 20 cows and how many goats?
20 sheep.
20 sheep?
At least 10 cows.
So, Matt, you really got to come up to par. I know, but she told him that was not enough. She was worth more than that.
With you on this trip.
But that is what my child had turned out to be. 20 goats? 3 cows.
It was worth it could have been worth the move for people in Africa.
She called me up and told me that. I said, oh my God, take her. But then we got a better offer. But needless to say, we want, huh? I have cows on the farm. Yeah, we have crawfish too. But no, anyway, just to make it short, it's just been a wonderful experience. I'm so happy that y'all are here. I hope that y'all have a wonderful time. We tried to give you a flavor of Louisiana. Yes. And hopefully that everyone, the weather is beautiful. You could not ask for a more perfect weekend. I had one daughter that got married with 8 inches of rain. And she got 8 inches of rain, and it was, what, baby? I'm sorry. You want to say hello? Say hello. But anyway, we are just so happy that y'all are here. We hope y'all have a wonderful time. Y'all couldn't ask for prettier weather, a prettier time. And we want to welcome the Lucases, Matt, and all the family into our family. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll make mine really quick.
No, yours is not fast?
All right, guys. My name is Candace. I'm Chancy's middle sister. Chancy and I have always had a love-hate relationship. Like, love-hate relationship. When I was the youngest, my mother came up to me and Christy and said, hey, guys, what do you guys want? A new cat or a new baby? And the first thing out of my mouth was like, a new cat, duh. I mean, I was not ready to let go of my, young status, the youngest status. But Chancy came along, and I loved her very, very much. Although Chancy thought that I didn't. I'm sure if any of you guys have heard about our relationship, Chancy claims that I allegedly took her into the back of our parents' house in their bedroom and smothered her with a pillow, which she says to this day she cannot be under the covers for a very long time because she gets claustrophobic. She said I used to sit on her head with a pillow, which I think is a lie. But needless to say, a few weeks ago, with Matt as a witness, we did watch family videos of me being very loving to Chancy. Exactly. And you know what Chancy said? Gosh, sister, you really loved me. Of course I did. So with that being said, I do love you. We are very proud of you for everything that you've done, and we're very happy to bring Matt into this family, this chaotic, neurotic family. And we're excited about tomorrow. Right, Charlotte? Say yes. No? Okay. All right.
Yep. Switch sides.
Hello. All right. Hello. For those of y'all that don't know me, I'm Natalie Davies, formerly Natalie Lucas, Matt's favorite and slightly older sister.
I don't know about that. I'm Emily Lucas, Matt's younger, much younger, and youthful sister.
So when Emily and I first sat down to gather our thoughts in a way that we felt would honor our brother Matt, we were immediately flooded with tons of great ideas, which wasn't unexpected. But we felt we needed to narrow things down and just try to deliver a brief main message that we've taken away growing up with him as his only 2 sisters. We have
Special connection.
Special relationship, knowing him through that. So we thought we would take just a quick journey through his life to explain to everyone here why, in our mom's eyes, he has always been the favorite. No joke.
Yeah. So you guys might, have a competition. We know. There's no question.
Yeah, no.
And it's always been kind of a running joke. Natalie, she had the brains, which was a given. And I had the sense of humor.
You got the look, Sam.
I had the talent, the sense of humor, the sociability, the beauty. Yeah. But Matt has always just been the favorite, so it didn't matter because there was no competition there because he was the favorite. And starting when he was an infant, whatever Natalie lacked in being a good baby, Matt made up for in being the most amazing, perfect baby to ever grace this earth. I mean, starting out, he was born on July 4th, so how do you beat that?
So this is close to me, being a mom of young kids. But when Matt was a baby, he never cried. Never cried. He didn't take a pacifier. Didn't need one. Happy. He could self-soothe. He ate whenever, whatever she provided him, he would eat. There was no problems.
Slept through the night.
Slept through the night
immediately.
quickly, as soon as she wanted him to.
Just an angel. He was an angel. I mean, totally just an angel.
So, moving away from infancy, as Matt grew up and to more of a child, he continued to shine. To Mom, it became more about his athleticism.
So it kind of morphed into his sports. So every sport he excelled in.
He was the best.
The best.
Let's just name a few.
Yeah.
T-ball,
baseball,
basketball,
hacky sack,
soccer, golf,
disc golf, tennis,
flag football,
badminton,
capture the flag,
dodgeball,
lacrosse.
And
tennis. But running,
hurdles.
But what was very crucial in our family that Matt shined at was roller skating. Our grandparents owned a roller skating rink, and Matt and I can synchronize skate amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, when he was in 8th grade, he could beat every player on the varsity tennis team. And she agrees. He outscored every lacrosse player. I mean, he was he was the best athlete. And then also, shout out to Logan Chiropractic School, best pitcher that softball team has ever seen. I mean, put softball on the map.
So Matt started to grow up. He turns into a teenager, a young adult. Typical high school things take over. According to Mom, compared to us, he had the coolest friends. Many who are here tonight, and we'll be standing up there with him tomorrow.
She could take her leave. She could take or leave our friends, but you guys.
Our friends could come and go, but these guys, they're core friends. She loves them. He drove cool cars. He had a 2-door red Tahoe. He had a black Mustang, chrome rims. At one point, an Explorer.
He was always the most handsome, despite the poop brown eyes. We dominate in eye color, and we will keep that. But he always had his morning routine. So I rode to school with him growing up. I was in 3rd grade, and he was a senior in high school. And Chancy can relate to that. So anyway, I'm gonna have to just show you guys what I would have to witness every morning in the car. So he's, we get into the parking spot. We're in the senior lot. We're by the Mac. That was like the new parking lot. So we pull in. He's got his cologne in the center console. So he pulls his cologne out, spray, throws it back in, slams it shut. Takes his hat and puts it on. He eyebrows, looks up in the rearview mirror, shakes his head, swoops it over, hat on, hat off, hat on, hat off, swoop it, and then he was ready to go. And it was like every morning without fail. It was his routine. I mean, there was like every morning. So yeah, and I mean, he was very well liked at Providence Day. He was athletic, popular, royal, if you consider prom prince, which he won. I think, right? I'm pretty sure. We need a fact check on that. And he was most spirited. He won a lot of the senior superlatives, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, you guys can agree he was pretty cool. Nah.
But Matt also excelled academically, and as he found his educational passion, it took him on an adventure to St. Louis. Our mom was heartbroken to see him have to temporarily move, but he became a wonderful chiropractor in the process, and she understood.
So he's still with
Through
his
that,
favorite.
he maintained his favorite status.
So now, Matt runs a very successful practice. He was able to sort out Dr. Shug's back, which is awesome after all that. And, our mom, he's kind of become somewhat of a local celebrity, according to our mother. She's always, my parents have lived in Charlotte since 1985, 86. And so whenever my mom would be out and about around town, and people would find out her last name was Lucas, they would say, "Oh my gosh, you're related to Dr. Lucas. He's the best. He delivered my babies, yada, yada, yada." Well, now, whenever somebody finds out she's a Lucas, "Oh my gosh, Dr. Lucas is the best," it turns out she's talking about Matt. So you can imagine her just total pleasure and how this adds to the caliber that he is now Dr. Lucas, Jack Lucas has been dethroned, and it is now Dr. Matt Lucas, who has become the Charlotte doctor. Passing the torch. All right, we're almost done. Here. Sorry, y'all.
So overall, there's a lot of jokes about mom favoring Matt, and in all honesty, it's okay with us. We're fine with it. We're very proud of our family. We're extremely thankful for Barb and Jack, our mom and dad. They are amazing parents, and all they've done for the three of us, we're very grateful. We're very lucky, and we know that.
So really, in conclusion, Matt has always reigned supreme as the favorite. That is until Cash. So when Natalie's first child, Cash, was born, and Barb's first grandchild, let's be honest, Matt took kind of a back seat.
For sure.
Demoted.
Very quickly, too.
Okay, but just to kind of put everything into perspective, Cash is important and Matt's the favorite, but we know Matt never expected this kind of extra attention from our mom, or we're not even sure if he agrees with it.
He agrees. He definitely agrees.
He agrees. We know he agrees, honestly. I'm lost. Oh, but the main point, the one thing that has reinvented and revived his favoritism, I think just left the room.
Yes.
Chancy, so let's take a time out.
So now we're getting to the good stuff, and we're gonna have it on video. So we're just gonna. Should we keep moving?
Bladders are this big.
Should we wait for Chancy?
No, she takes a while.
Oh.
All right. Well, this
Okay.
is pretty. I mean, this is when it gets. This is when it gets heartfelt. All right. Well. All right. Well. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
So not only is Chancy beautiful and hilarious, and puts up with our super weird brother. Bless her heart that she puts up with him, y'all. That's a task. But she's really just absolutely integrated into our family really flawlessly, and we really can't remember a time without her. And trust me, we are a family that remembers life without certain people. BE before Emily. We look back on that era a lot, all too often, much to my chagrin. So anyway, Chancy, as you've missed our shout out to you. Yeah, you did. You got a very heartfelt. All right. All right.
We're done.
So anyway, we'd like to thank you, Chancy, for giving our brother a chance to live up to, back to his favorite status with our mother in her eyes. And sooner rather than later, if it was up to Barbara, there's going to be another mini Matt coming into this world, and we really can't wait for that, and that's going to really take the cake. So thank you guys.
Yes, and thanks everyone for listening to us.
Yeah, sorry, that was long.
We love everybody. Anybody? Kyla?
For most people in this room, you probably all think that Chancy and I met in medical school. We met sitting next to each other in class, poring over biology books. This isn't true. We actually met the day she and I took our MCAT. We didn't know each other at all. But if you know Chancy and if you know me, this story makes complete sense. So we finish our 8-hour exam, however long it was, that we've been preparing for months. And I walk out to find my car is dead. Can't get in it. I left the lights on. I don't know what to do. I'm stranded at the testing center. And here's Chancy, and she gets out, and she has a car right next to me. And I'm like, I didn't know her name was Chancy at this point, but I was like, hey girl, can you help me? Can you, do you have jumper cables? Can you help me jump my car? And she was like, And at this point, she's in her mom's convertible black Audi, and she's like, I don't know how to open the hood. I have to go. So I was like, man, that person is terrible. She's an awful human being. So when I saw her in med school, I was like, I'm not going to be friends with her. No way, no how. It's not happening. What do you know? Next thing, Chancy and I are matching togas at our first post-test party. I'm accidentally calling her family's house and spewing vulgarities all over their answering machine, and then we were in Ireland. And we had an amazing time in Ireland. We had an even better time when we used Charles Galata's credit card to host us in a fancy bed and breakfast. It was necessary. We may have died in some hostel that Hannah booked and got cooked in a stew on the side of a lake in Ireland. Anyway, so Ireland finished. I think we went to Africa after that. We went to a few beach trips after that. We took a friend break after Ireland. I don't know why, but we fell back in love again. And then next thing you know, it was time for us to graduate. And it was no big deal. We were like, we'll keep in touch. And in most cases with friends like that, you move on. You don't keep in touch. But Chancy and I did. We called, at least once a week, once a month. We FaceTimed all the time. And next thing you know, she tells me that she's met someone wonderful named Matt, who's not paying attention to anything I'm saying. And then she's engaged, and I'm at the Lucas's house, meeting them for the first time, and I'm very, I'm trying to be very refined and prim and proper, and but then I gave Chancy a bra that you fill with wine, and they took it like a champ. They loved it, and I was like, okay, good, I can relax now. And then next thing you know, we're sitting at the kitchen table, and there are shots of Jack Daniels being passed around, and I looked at Chancy, and I was like, where did you find these people? They are awesome. So, I think you can tell that I fully approve of the Lucases and Matt. Matt, you're getting a wonderful, wonderful woman. I completely love this girl. She has my heart. She has always been there for me. She knows me inside and out. And I couldn't ask for two better families to join and two better people to come together.
I'll be pretty quick. This is really just more of a repayment for something that was given to me on my wedding day that I feel like I need to return to Matt. First of all, this day is very bittersweet for me personally because this is the defining moment in which the Lucases are no longer taking care of me. Which, even though I'm married and I have a kid of my own now, this is the time where middle school ends and I can no longer steal Gushers out of the closet. So that's a big moment. And I feel like this is the last party that you guys have officially hosted for us. But it's a lot more formal now because now we're drinking and you know it. And it's not as awkward to see you and we're all drinking. So anyways, on the night before I got married, on my rehearsal dinner, lots of speeches being made, a lot of people getting up from both sides. Matt got up from my side, doing me a favor. And the first thing he mentioned is that I had a toe ring in middle school, which was not true. And I was obviously very upset about it. I didn't know what to do. I blamed it on Adam Pleasant. That was wrong. It was wrong of me now. I know that now. But I didn't know what to do. And then Matt's explanation afterwards was, well, you know, I did it as a friend. And he's right. Eventually I realized, you know, he did it as a friend. He's always there. A lot of people bailed on my bachelor party, but Matt was always there. And kind of like it's kind of been a come and going, off and on theme. You know, when we first met each other, we hated each other. And then I don't know why. I don't know why we hated each other. And then I don't know why we became best friends, but we did. And we were there every weekend. And kind of on and on, off again. We just pick up where we left off. So, anyways, Matt's always there. He picked up where he left off. You know, I kind of lost my train of thought. But anyways. Yeah. But anyways, we'll take 5 years off, not see each other, right back on again. Panthers games, we're right back there. And Matt knows anytime there's a seat available for me, I'll be there. So, Chancy.
I'm Angela. I'm Chancy's friend from residency, Carolinas and Charlotte.
Dang, you're hot.
So, Maddie fresh, always fresh. Let's talk about what Chancy likes to do in her free time, because that's how Chancy and I got to know each other. Chancy likes to do puzzles. Does everybody know that? So when you're a single 27-year-old and you meet a fellow resident working 80 hours a week that also likes to do puzzles, you know that you're going to have a lot of fun Friday nights. So if you ask Chancy to tell you her life story in 4 minutes, which is a little game we play at home, she will tell you that she is the forgotten third child. And she'll tell you it over and over throughout the 4 minutes. That's how she starts it. But if you've seen the 27th birthday video that this family, this awesome family made for her, you will know that she's definitely not the forgotten child. So Chancy's the friend. This can be a little more smushy. Chancy's the friend that remembers the day you take your boards and the day you give grand rounds to your department and your birthday, and she shows up. Okay? She's also the first person that came over the night my grandma passed away, and besides my family, there's nobody else I would have wanted there. That was also the night we did the world puzzle, and I found Michigan, which is where I'm from, and I left Chancy hunting for the South Sudan. She still doesn't know where that is. But that's okay. I'll let her be upset about it. So it was after an eventful day of puzzling that Chancy went out on her first date with Maddie. Does everybody know the sushi story? No? Okay. So the sushi story. So we're puzzling like we usually do at Chancy's house and drinking wine. Chancy screams from upstairs, and we're like, what the hell? Did you get mascara in your eye? Like, what's wrong with you? She runs down the stairs, and she's like, oh my God, you're not going to guess what I just texted Matt, this guy I'm supposed to go on a date with. She texted Matt, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Same thing, Maddie. Okay. And Matt's like gracious about it. He's like, oh my God, are you okay? Should we reschedule? Chancy's freaking out. I'm like, just tell him you had bad sushi. Cafeteria sushi sucks. Like, tell him you had bad sushi. So she's like, bad sushi. Okay. So they go out on their first date. But I think Matt and I got off on the wrong foot initially. One, because I encouraged Chancy not to drive to their first date, not knowing if Maddie was going to be a serial killer. Not putting two and two together that he was Dr. Lucas's from work son, which made things better. But also because the first night I met Matt, I took the opportunity to quiz him on some medical chiropractic contraindications. I wanted to make sure he knew what he was talking about, but he really did. He got them all right, and he was gracious about it. So thank you, Maddie, for being so gracious about it. But early on, we knew Maddie could kick it with the girls. We went out one night to this uptown Charlotte bar. Left Maddie at the bar to buy shots, and we all ran out on the dance floor to dance to Taylor Swift. But when we turned around, Maddie was right there with us, pumping his fists in the air to shake it off. So we knew then that he was going to be able to kick it with the girls. So in medicine, we say that if your patients respect you, that's a big deal, and that says a lot about who you are. When it comes to these two, you guys already know that their patients love them, and that says a lot about what you guys bring to a relationship. Whether it's your families or your friends, your patients, or the stray cats that Maddie's feeding protein pills to on their front porch every night, we know that both of them bring a lot to the table. So our friend from work, Ashley Escu, is going to be here later, but in her words, and this is like 2 weeks after they started dating, she said, I think they might just be weird enough for each other. And I think that was totally true. So I love you both, and I love you together. Cheers!
Only person that can win. That was so good. Get up there.
Baby girl. Hey everybody, for those of you who don't know me, oh yeah, I'm getting some gasps already. No, this is going to be very PG. Matt and I have been friends for about 25 years now. Matt is probably the most red-blooded American I know. He drives a huge Ford truck. He has enough guns to necessitate a gun rack. And as fate would have it, he shares the same birthday as America herself. We had a lot of fun on those birthdays. But I'm also proud to say that, through those 25 years, there's been a lot of time that's passed. We haven't always stayed in touch, and it hadn't never really mattered. There's never been any drama whatsoever. We've remained friends. And also reflecting on those 25 years, it's funny how things change. What you're striving for, your goals, what you're trying to accomplish. The first minute when we first met, we're going to your lake house trying to see how much air we can get on a jet ski or going tubing, and then it was trying to become the best athlete we could be, and then trying to get into a good school, and then figuring out what we wanted to do, and then try to be the best professional in our respective industry, and then trying to pick the most compatible mate. So this is a very roundabout way of emphasizing Matt's work ethic and his dependability, his resolve. Matt works insanely hard to be the best at what he does, and I think he understands what it takes. That's what it takes to be successful in today's world. But more on an interpersonal level, I think everybody in this room can agree, who actually know him, that he is a man who will always be available at the drop of a hat. Family and friends. Hello? Oh, it's back. Family and friends, everybody knows that he is there for you whenever you need him. He's been a rock for me as a friend whenever I'm on my various travels. He's there. He's a great person, and I think great people deserve each other. And then he met this little lovely firecracker. He met Chancy, and this is a girl who works 24 hours a day, just day after agonizing day, and she'd come home, see me sitting on their couch, relatively like I'm kind of a stranger to her at this point, and drinking a beer, and she'll come sit down next to me and with a real tired smile and have a drink and hang out for a little bit and go back to bed and sleep for a few hours and go back to work and do it again. And that tipping point with Matt, when he realized this was going to be one of those forever and ever type things, I think, was when he saw those same values that he had in himself that reflected within her. And so, yeah, I think those values is kind of what constitutes a great relationship that's very long lasting, and we'll continue on. So y'all carry that, because I think what life is going to throw at you, you've got each other to lean on now. So wish you the very best and a very happy ever after. Cheers to y'all.
I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Good, buddy.
Thank you.
Hold on.
So, I met Matt when he was about 15 years old. My very good friend and Juan Carlos and I were working the docks down in Cozumel. I'm actually, his dad, he disappeared. That's the first time I've heard that story about the federales, by the way. You need to come to my room later on tonight. We're going to get caught up here. That's the first time I've heard it. Well, meanwhile, while the federales were having their way with our children, that didn't come out right, I'm sorry. Barb and Jack and I had the 18-year-olds seeing a lot of the Cozumel cultural attractions, as he mentioned, and Carlos and Charlie's. So we're sitting there, and Barb goes, "Should we let them have a drink?" I was like, "Well, they're 18. We were legal when we were 18. What do y'all want?" Natalie goes, "Tequila." My daughter's not here, but she goes, "Tequila works for me too." I was like, "What do you think?" It's like, "I don't know." Barb's like, "Well, they've never had tequila. That might be a little rough." And I was like, "That's fine." So we ordered shots of tequila. They bring them over. Jack and I are sitting there. We're looking over. Where's the salt? Where's the limes? Meanwhile, Natalie and Christy grab the salt, grab the lime, boom, boom, bam. I look over at Barb and go, "No, they've never done this before." So one thing leads to another. We run out of all the attractions, cultural attractions at Cozumel, and we need to head back to the boat rather quickly. You don't want me to go too far, do I? We get back to the boat, we walk in, and we go looking for the boys. Unbeknownst to us, that they had run into some legal problems earlier. And where do we find them? Jack and I. Barb had to go take a quick nap. Jack and I find Matt and Wesley, none other than at the casino tables, at a blackjack table, and we hear Matt yelling at Wesley, "You hit the 16." So, seriously, we had some friends of ours ask us a long time ago, "How come? When did y'all become good friends?" And as Matt yelled out, I have known him since he was about 5. We have been very good friends of the Lucases, and they've been good friends of ours. when asked why, it was mainly because we had a girl, a boy, 9 years later, a girl. They had a girl, a boy, 9 years later, a girl. Nobody else would go on vacations with us. We had no other choice. We spent some 30 some odd years at the lake every 4th of July. Memories that we'll never forget. And the thing that I probably regret the most is that until today, I didn't meet this wonderful young lady that Matt has found in Chancy, and she's not here. But I couldn't be more happy for you. You're truly like my own son. And I wish you both most happiest life, blessed life. Godspeed. You're here.
So one story for Chancy, and this is how I knew that she was going to be great for Matt. And I met her at a Hornets game in Charlotte. And the first thing she says to me after hello is, "So who's your favorite college football team?" And I say, "Well, she's from Baton Rouge, so Alabama." And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, we're going to have a problem." And I go, "This is a good one." I'm like, she's going to be very good for Matt because she's feisty. And so, Chancy, you've played that note perfectly throughout us getting to know each other and keeping that little bit of flavor for Matt. So the other thing I wanted to say for Matt is when I got married, which is one of the very few things that I've accomplished before Matt has, he asked me, he said, how do you know? Are you sure? And I said, when you know, you'll know. I said, you haven't known yet. When I knew, and it was done. And so I asked him a couple months ago when we found out that he was engaged, I said, do you know? He said, yeah, I get it now. And so Chancy, he really knows at this point that you're the one. And I knew pretty quickly that you were the one for him too. And so I just wanted to wish you both, the best of luck going forward, and we'll be really happy to be right there with you going along. So thank you.
You got to know this. He was an accident. He was an accident.
Really?
Yeah. So we're around the table one night, the children, Natalie and Matt and Emily being 10 years younger, they were teasing Emily about being, oh, you're young, oh, you were an accident. And so I allowed, you all were accidents. You were all accidents, especially Matt. Let's think about it. Barb was 8 months postpartum, breastfeeding. I was on call every other or every third night as an intern. The chances of me creating a conception at my house, were somewhere between high 5%, low 0%. So I questioned the paternity. I did. But after a while, when I realized his smart-ass attitude, like mine, that he must have been from my loins. So there's that. So Matt was born in Tampa, down at Busch Gardens. And this is where Matt declared his first vocational aspiration, and that was to be a musician. Matt wanted to be a sheik. And if you notice, one of these pictures in the video was this all-black band of trumpets and horns and drums marching around, Busch Gardens. That was Matt. That's what he wanted to do. So, I'm proud of Matt because of the way that he loved his grandparents and he respected his grandparents, particularly his granddaddy, Everett Hatley, my father-in-law. Everett was particularly associated with Matt and loved Matt because he was his only male offspring. He only had daughters or only daughters in the family. Matt was the first and only male. Everett is a very staunch, I repeat, staunch conservative Republican. I would tell you that today, Everett Hatley would be very happy. There would be no issues anywhere in the news where it related to him. Matt took those values with him, and he carries them to this day. So one day Matt asked me, he said, look, I'm thinking about getting an earring in my ear. I'm thinking about an earring in my ear. All right. I'm not sure who created the problem, but
It's your fault.
She said, would you give me permission to have an earring in my ear? And I said, yeah, whatever. But I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to defer this to your granddaddy. And whatever your granddaddy says, I will agree with explicitly and completely. So if whatever. As far as I know, there is no earring. I'm not sure that he called his granddaddy about that. Matt was a great athlete. You saw these superlatives. Matt was awesome in Little League and T-ball. He always played up. He was like the only 8-year-old on the 10, 12-year-old team. He didn't do a lot of home runs, but he stole all the bases. And he won awards in the walks, all the walks. He won the awards for that. He played, he was like number 2 on the Providence Day tennis team, varsity tennis team. And then immediately he became like the only 9th grader on the varsity lacrosse team, and he scored state records. They're still in place as far as I know. So then, there's New Year's Eve of 2000, millennium. Barbara and I agreed to let Matt host a overnight New Year's Eve party at Lake Norman, at our lake house. Yeah, whatever you were.
In high school?
The only stipulation was that if you came up to the lake house and stayed overnight, we would collect the keys and keep the keys. And everything went really pretty fine during the day. Some of y'all were there. Some of y'all were there. It was really a fun day during the day, but as the sun set and dusk came, there was a sudden interest in fishing. All right, everybody wanted to go fishing down at the lake, right, down by the water. So everybody went to the cars, and they all came back out with their tackle boxes, and they walked on down to the water, down to the dock, down to the pier, and we noticed something unusual about this fishing. There were no fishing rods. But they had these boxes of things that they were carrying down to the lake. I just have to tell you, there were no incidents that night.
None.
And the millennium did come. Glad to report there were only 2 telephone calls from the police after midnight. First call came related to a car egging that he was not directly involved with, but he was associated by association. He was included, and there were others involved.
My sister was involved. I was 5. No, don't worry.
The second call came when we were called and asked, you might want to come pick your son. Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department called and said, hey, y'all, you might want to come over here and pick your son up. We've got him pulled over. And turns out he had been the host and the driver of an 18-year-old birthday party at one of the local men's clubs. Pulled over, window rolled down. Officer said, I'd like for you to roll on out of the car. And he opened the door, and instead of Matt, an empty beer can rolled out. And that was not a good night. And I will not name some of the other passengers in the car that night that could possibly be here. So then came college. Matt was determined to be different. He refused to be like a conformist and like everybody go to North Carolina, right? He's not going to do that. In fact, he didn't even apply to North Carolina. unlike both of his sisters, who both graduated from North Carolina. Both Phi Beta Kappa, may I say. Just to give them a plum. So he goes to Georgia. He goes to Georgia, which is wonderful. Had a big time. So we're taking him down to Georgia for his, first week. He goes a week early because it's rush week. And we're taking him down there. He decided he wanted to be an SAE. He had decided that early. So you were down there. Well, something like that. It wasn't whatever. SAE, whatever it was. So we drop him off, and we move him in, and we bid him adieu. We get in the car, we drive off, and about, we're 25 minutes up the road. We hadn't even crossed the Georgia state line from Athens. He says, well, I've pledged, and I pledged KA. I'm thinking, okay, great. So, if any of you all know KA, Matt's politics, you'll completely understand all about that. So at Georgia, Matt has some career struggles. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He changed his major a couple times. He got a little bit behind his buddies, his fraternity brothers. Some of them were going into finance and business, and they were going back to join their dads at the bank. They were going to take over their family car dealerships and whatnot. And there's Matt. No family car dealership. No bank. And, medicine, you're on your own. And it was not working out. So finally a light went off in his head. And he decided that with the help of a couple of mentors of his that are both in the room, Dr. Eric Serwin, Dr. Dan Bowker, both their wives are with us, chiropractic, and Matt has made his way into Charlotte, into his career, into his profession. He's happy, he's satisfied, he's doing a great job, and as you've heard from others, he's just doing a fine job in Charlotte. And gentlemen, I thank you again for your support and encouragement on that. Then there were girlfriends. No names. A couple of girlfriends, several girlfriends, short ones, long ones, of sorts. But Matt was very selective. He was very particular. He was deliberate, methodical about these girls. Matt worked through the weeds. Let's call them weeds. In no particular hurry, and he always came up empty. But then not from the weeds, but from these beautiful green sugarcane fields of Louisiana comes Chancy Annette Gulata. Yeah. She met the criteria, she flipped the switch. The most beautiful, sweet, intelligent, and witty girl he had met. She met the criteria, she did it all. The relationship blossomed. They've made big decisions and plans for their future, and they're excited to start their married lives together tomorrow. So can we tip our glasses to this beautiful relationship, all these wonderful things you've heard? Yay! Awesome.
Who did that?
So we're very excited. We're very happy. We love Chancy. We love you all. Thank you all for being here. I think this might do it. I'm going to have Matt.
I just want to say, I want to thank everybody. I didn't prepare anything. I spent a lot of time. I'm a planner. Those who know me, that I like to plan things. This was the one thing that I decided not to plan. I decided I'm not going to write bullets and do all this, even though, Dad, that was well done. I appreciate it. But I wanted to thank everybody because never once has a situation like this been completely about me. And when you're in this situation, which I'm sure, yeah. Oh, this is Chancy. This is about being my wife. She's my wife. She'll be my wife. I love her. I do. But enough about her. We're going to talk about me real quick, if that's okay with you, Chancy. But I didn't prepare anything because I wanted to be in this moment, and I wanted to just thank Laura. I wanted to thank you for you have been such a you have been the greatest thing ever. Laura, people don't understand. Laura is the most sentimental, the most thoughtful, the most amazing, beautiful person, and when marrying Chancy is going to be like marrying Laura, which is, I don't know. Mr. Wright, will you please sit down, please?
Without fringe,
You have to understand, I came in on marrying one and having the other.
Right.
without fringe benefits.
Right.
No fringe benefits.
Right. Where was I? But like Laura, if y'all don't know Laura, I hope, but like I think 80% of everybody that here is on my side. So what's up, North Carolina? But Laura right there, she is like one of my favorite people in the entire world. She is the most thoughtful, most caring, most unbelievable, sweetest people, maid or matron? Maid of honor. Well, I don't know the difference.
Yeah, you should.
Well, but thank you, Lou, and thank you for all that you've done, and I love you, and I'm so happy to have you as my sister. Christy, thank you. I love you. You and Ellis, you're amazing. I'm happy to have you as a brother-in-law. You, Scott, Candace, that little Charlie over there. She's asleep, but I love her. Now, if y'all look at me right now, I would hope that everybody would think that I'm extremely happy, which I am. There's literally only one person in this room that is happier than I am.
Where is he?
Where's he? Where's Charles?
I'm looking for one very specific person who's happier than I am.
He's at the bar.
And I'll wait. That mustache. It's the greatest mustache I've ever seen. Mr. Charles Aloysius Gulata. My baby. That man is the happiest man on earth right now. I just took $60 off of his Verizon bill. I took $250 off his life insurance. And the car insurance, Miss Charlotte. All that.
Sirius Radio, that's a big one.
Sirius Radio. Cancel it. No, you pay for it. I know what's up. I know exactly what happens in this family. I know the family good enough, Miss Charlotte. Yeah, you the breadwinner. You're the best. But this night is amazing for me. I know everybody here. I feel like I'm meeting a lot of Baton Rouge, Plaquemine, Port Allen folks over there. I have a few that I still need to meet. Thank y'all for being here. If y'all are here, y'all mean something to this family and to me. So thank y'all for being here. The fact that I've got friends from Michigan, from Columbia, from Wyoming, from Charlotte, from Illinois. I want to thank my friends here. I haven't seen in a long time my chiropractic friends, Mark and Kent and Megan, for coming all the way from Illinois. It was 7 degrees when they got on the airplane today, and it's like 75 degrees here. So you're welcome. You're welcome. That tan's on me. I want to thank you four right here, because the Harrisons and the Shugs right here, they're very theatrical. Y'all don't know. I mean, this is new to y'all, but not new to me. I've been a part of many of these. I've been the guy that turned the lights on and off. I've lowered. I mean, this isn't new, but this was the best I've ever seen, and I've seen many, which means honestly, they put the most time and the most thought into that, and Dr. Shug, John, thank you so much. You it was very well thought out. It was hilarious. I'm so glad we have a videographer here so that I can watch this daily.
He's looking at the camera.
It's right on me, I feel like. That's it. The hat's off. It took a couple. I had to keep it fresh. But I want to thank y'all. That was very nice. I really appreciate it. Y'all didn't have to do that, but you did, and I thank you. It was very, very thoughtful, very, all that. I want to thank. Oh, okay. My better half. I want to thank all y'all for have said all the nice things.
Yeah.
Wesley, thank you. Big Wes, thank you. Great memories, truly. I want to thank everybody for being here. It's honestly, it's an amazing feeling to be here and to have so many people that care about you, that went so far out of their way, who spent money, who took time off of work. And I'm sure a lot of you have been in this situation before, but until you've been in this, it's to feel the love that we truly feel. It's I've really never been in a situation like this before, and I'm really, really appreciative of this, and I thank y'all so much for being here. I want to thank Jessica Dean, real quick, if you don't mind. That beautiful lady over there. She introduced me to Chancy. I don't know if a lot of y'all know this, and I'm going to be quick because I feel like everybody's ready to go. Is everybody ready to go? We've paid all this alcohol, like drink all of it, because it doesn't affect. We can drink all of it or half of it. Let's drink all of it. But I want to thank Jess Dean.
Your mama.
I'm getting there.
Sorry. I'll just be
I want to thank Jess, and I want to thank my mama. Most people don't know what happened, but my mom and Jess, this is Chancy and I, how we met. Which everybody should know this, and I'm not ashamed.
Either, man.
Well, you should be. You're the lead here.
She's very happy about it.
Yes, she is. Look at that smile. Y'all don't know how much I love my mama right now.
Oh, get to it, Maddie.
Like hold on, Stephanie, please. Can I give a little love to this woman? R-E-S-P-E-C-T. As my sisters made it very clear that this lady, this woman, adores me. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm going to tell y'all, I'm the greatest lacrosse player that ever came out of North Carolina. There has never been a better tennis player that has ever stood on a tennis court in the state of North Carolina besides me at a certain age. I'm the best. I'm the best that there's ever been. And the greatest. And the greatest. And the greatest. And I have proof. If anybody wants to challenge me on that, I have the proof. This is an interesting situation that I'm in right now because I have a double ear infection and I can't. Not to make this about me, but it's really weird for me because I. Oh, Chancy. Good shot about Chancy. Oh, there she is. Enough about me. I digress on this moment. Look at me in the center stage. I feel like. You want to stay on the table? Yeah. It's amazing. This is all about me tonight. I'm dropping the mic. I'm going to drop the mic. Everybody prepare for me to drop the mic when I get done, but I'm going to do it. And I don't care. Where was I? Oh. Justine, it's about you, babe. Right here.
Stand up.
You too, then, Mom. No, don't stand up. Nobody cares. I care. But Justine, Justine and my mom are sitting at a East Over OBGYN party, and my mom is rifling through the gazillion pictures she has of Cash, who is now her favorite. It's not me anymore, I promise.
That's right.
But there's just so happened to be one. In 1,000 pictures, there's one of me.
In your lacrosse outfit?
Definitely. Definitely. And my neck muscles were as strong as something. I was holding Cash. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I truly am. Go to the bathroom. Go. Give me some wine.
Yeah,
Give
do
me
what you
wine.
do then. Like, do what you ever
Chan-
to do.
Emily, give me some red. Give me some red.